Was saying, I accidentally stopped the recording, but it's fine. Life goes on. There's a lot of new shops around here, and yeah, by the way, curiosity is absolutely winning, because what's the worst, like in situations like this, I'm like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Oh no, I end up going on an extra long walk and getting extra fresh air and moving my body. Oh no. And also just seeing what's changed. Yeah, they've built so many new places. Oh my gosh, I gotta go up there. Yeah, so I just love it. So now Disney's got its grubby hands. Like, this is what I'm worried about with the charity match. I'm like, are they going to get their grubby hands, like these organizations of the world, on the Sidemen? Because one thing I love about them is they don't like collaborate with people mostly unless it's their own fan base. It's like their own friends. So it's not like a Kai Cenat situation, which again, we love Kai. He was fun to watch as a streamer. Very innocent, and this is what I mean. Very innocent. He's just in his house, just streaming whatever he's doing, whatever. Can I tell you something else I think is really stupid? While we're here, because I can see this car's on sale for 11,000. I don't get people who spend all this money on their car. Like, if it functions and can get you from A to B, why are you wasting? Like, sometimes I hear how much money people are paying monthly for their car, and I'm like, and you're complaining about the state of the world. Do you need to have that car? Like, save a little bit and just buy a car that works, for goodness sake. Like, these are the things I don't get. Like, no one, this is where we add stress into our own lives as humans. But yeah, they don't really collaborate with people. So I'm just worried that because everybody licks the flipping celebrities. Yeah, Kai Cenat, it was all fun and games. We're watching them play games and do silly stuff, and it was funny. And it all went downhill as soon as Kevin Hart came on and started policing, the PR of it all. Oh, we don't say that. Is this where Bounce is? We're seeing this Pilates place being advertised. I didn't know it was here. That's interesting. He was the one. So it just sucked all the fun out of it. And that's what I feel like happens. It sucks all the fun. Like, in all this development, like, this is where I'm kind of feeling like, I don't even know if I should watch the Sidemen charity match, in all honesty, because I feel like the come down after seeing it and just not knowing if we're ever going to have this again, if next year, because now they're famous. Like, and again, it's so funny. All these people we grew up with, or who just make funny and silly videos, who had no respect, and now George Clark, another one of their friends, was on Strictly Come Dancing, and then you had Angry Ginge. I'm a celebrity. Like, now the mainstream wants to know. Grace has got a show. Nella did Catfish. I was like, so now you want to know. Like, now you want to know. And then all this PR airbrushing, that's the stuff that our generation doesn't care for. Like, and that's what I don't think people seem to realize of the older generations. Like, we've seen how those infrastructures are just fake. Like I said, you see these pastors in their little families, I was right there, one of them, dressed in a certain way, sitting at the front of church. By the way, that was one of the things I hated the most, is when they ask you to, like, sit at the front of the church. And I'm like, oh, I think this is why I now always sit at the back in a hoodie. Like, don't see me. That's why you guys see me out in a hoodie all the time. Because I'm like, I don't want to be seen. I can't describe the degree to which I don't want to be seen. Interesting. I feel like going up there a little bit more. Actually, let me go around this way. The thing is, I'm on a time budget here, so I need to not get too carried away. But a bit of sunshine is another reason why I came out, because, for the health and whatnot, rather than taking all these supplements and this and that and this and that and that and this. Get a bit of sunshine, mate. Get a bit of the natural supplements of the Lord. Natural oxygen. This is why these famous people, after they've done all the demonic behavior, this is why they will be sleeping in oxygen tanks and all sorts. They're too much time doing the work of the devil. This is why I like a simple life. Like sometimes I know I complain a lot about just the state of everything and how I hate everything, but like moments like this where it's just a nice afternoon, I'm just having a stroll, I've got no stress in my life, I'm not lying on anybody's name, I'm not manipulating anybody, I'm not letting anybody bother me, I'm getting some fresh air, you know, I'm in the season of helping the kids, you know, with exams that actually don't matter, but hey, at least I'm teaching a life skill in some aspects, critical thinking, problem solving. And after I'm done with work this week, all my excitement is going to be to prepare to watch the Sidemen charity match by myself in peace. In peace. I'm on here talking to you guys, you know, because this is what I was thinking of these Girls Gone Bible. I was thinking, this is why I don't believe in trying to airbrush ourselves as Christians, because then you look stupid. You know what I mean? If you guys heard a few wild things about me, as you all know, I love to dibble dabble in things I'm not supposed to be doing. You know what's funny about that as well? I used to really beat myself up about it, like really. And then one day God was like, you know, you are a human, and that's a concept we're still working on, me understanding what that's actually supposed to mean. But yeah, we could be like these fakes, these hypocrites. And again, circling back to the Sidemen, sorry that you guys can't see me, I'm walking with the sun behind me, but in just a moment, can I actually get out from here? Can I just say, this is one of the biggest fumbles in all history. Actually, should I even mention that here? But this is my channel and I want to. This is one of the biggest fumbles of all history. And if you make it this far into the video, then you get to hear the story. So where I'm walking now, you know what? We're not going to go for it. We're just not. I just get the feeling it's not going to be worth it. And I don't want to give myself a reason to not end up uploading, because that's what will happen. I'll be like, I can't say that. And that's so annoying, by the way. Especially when I've experienced so many people so happy to just freely share stories about me. Lies, in fact. That's what I'm saying. I'm really realizing that it's actually way more worth it in life. You're way more sure you're on the right path, whether you're even a believer or not. That's the crazy part. When whatever you're doing is not being widely accepted, because even the Bible talks about how it's a narrow path, few will find it. So why do we just think that anybody going around calling themselves a believer is actually the real deal? Why are we that sure? Just because they said it. And that's another thing that annoys me about this world, as I've said, is the titles. And it's always the people so desperate for a title that are the ones who are always the hypocrite. And it's the people just minding their businesses and minding their business who are actually respectable. Because going back to the Sidemen charity match, as you can see, I'm so looking forward to it. But it's because I've analysed everything. Like, I've looked into their history. I know all about their brands. And like, this is what's cool. When they're getting sponsored, they're not getting sponsored by some weird organizations that have been operating for tens of thousands of years. Okay, that's an exaggeration. And that probably have CEOs and founders on the Epstein list, or are in, the big companies. Like, they're sponsored by their very own brands, and they all have their own brands. At the last Sidemen Sunday, it wasn't the last the Sidemen charity match, was it the one before? At their halftime show, they have their own friends, again, people we grew up. They're not super well known. They're the ones who are performing. I'm gonna go back down through the underpass. That was a fun time. They have those kinds of people. A lot of these places are also shut. That's kind of concerning. This town is dying. This is what I mean as well, because right as I'm saying that, I'm right by one of their new build flats. This is the one that had the freaking electric car things I couldn't recognize with the touchscreen. Oh my gosh. Anybody else find it so annoying? This is one of those niggling things where all of this sounds well and good, all the little screens, but then how many people have problems, right, with parking now and stuff like that, where they've got the digital ones where you have to pay by card or pay on your phone, and then it doesn't work and then they still charge you anyway. Or like how if you go through some of the tunnels where you normally pay like a toll and keep like a bit of change inside your car and then just pay it in cash, and now they're like, oh, pay online. But then if you don't, they've managed to track you, and you next thing you get is a whole freaking bill, like £100-something. These are the things that annoy me, by the way. And the fact that we will just take it lying down. And this is my problem. I'm like, I can't fight everything. Oh gosh, the school kids just finished school. I need to get out of Dodge right now. There's an army of them behind me. Actually, I don't mind the school kids, by the way, at all. Actually, at all. It's funny how kids don't bother me, because anything they do that's annoying, they're kids. And they're still quite teachable. And I have them to thank for a lot of how I see stuff, because I was thinking about this, like, they're growing up in places with adults who are barely struggling and are barely managing to like survive, who are giving them the same advice that they took to get to where they are. And then like, whilst they're watching online content like me, we're seeing, sorry, this is so cool. It's so cool. Whilst they're seeing, the Sidemen raising $6.1 million at a charity match. Just a bunch of friends just having a fun time. And it's just a lovely experience. Like, so I'm really worried, because I feel like these things are going to start to be ruined, because now that people are starting to operate in the big leagues, like I said, it's like, it feels so predatorial. It's almost like we're just here existing and having innocent fun, and there's always some older folks swooping in with their demons, their old traditions and their old religions, coming to contaminate us with their pride and with their delusion. Like, that's what it feels like. Like, we're just minding our business, having fun. And like I said, this stuff is more inspiring. Not to mention the stories I'm hearing. So I found out, like, yeah, this is another new place. I really hate new buildings, because they're so just like, what happened to artistry? Like, what happened to, these old buildings, especially when like these old buildings that used to be just beautiful and intentional and unique. Now every single building that they're building looks exactly the same. Whether it's this new pharmacy behind me that I just walked past, whether it's those new flats, the new buildings in town, like, it all just looks the same. It's so boring. This is what I'm saying. It's like we live in a world where you genuinely are expected to just hit the replay. Whatever people did before, just do it again, whether it works or not. And then we have all this respect. Like, this is one of those things I think about, yeah. Who are going to be like the voices we remember, like we do Socrates and all these folks who we have all these quotes, these Chinese proverbs and all this stuff. Who's doing that now? Because it's one of the reasons I decided to invest in my knowledge and my own wisdom. Because I was like, I think the idea that somebody remembers, this is why you always catch me saying phrases, because I genuinely want one of them to stick. And be remembered throughout all of history. Like, this is what I'm saying. People don't seem to think about stuff like that. Like, what's the stamp I'm leaving on the world? What am I going to be remembered for? Like, what impact did I have? Because I've had a lot of conversations, a lot of bad advice from a lot of people. The impact that, like the Sidemen have had on my life is going to, like, because I was feeling like when I see all this stuff, I'm like, yeah, you know what, we're going to do the revolution. We're going to do, like, I'm seeing people I can work with. I'm not talking about them, but I'm talking about my generation in general. I'm like, okay, this is a group of people I can work with, like, who are, even the vitality of it all. All the big wig, old crusty dusties want to be sending everybody to war. I'm watching these guys compete in freaking all these sports related competitions, because a lot of them play a lot of sports. I'm like, why should we waste our youth and vitality to fight in these old people's battles? Like, you can't even get on the battlefield. Like, this was saying about One Piece. The royals in the One Piece, yeah, they wear these bubbles around their head. I love how they're written, because they can't wear the same, obviously they can't breathe the same air as what we breathe. But the funny thing is, they're all like old and crusty. And by the way, I think aging is a beautiful thing. Like, I saw the most beautiful older lady the other day. And I think aging is a beautiful thing. That's why I think it's actually sad that, you know, so many people are trying to stay looking young. And also, as someone else rightfully pointed out, there's something a bit creepy about this obsession with women staying youthful. Like, it's a little bit creepy. Which honestly, I agree with that. I never even thought about it like that, but I actually agree. But I kind of want to just sit in the middle of the field for a second. I kind of want to just I can sit in the middle of the field and just imagine. And the reason why I haven't gone, by the way, to actually go to the Sidemen charity match is because there's going to be too many people there, and we all know my social battery. Also, I'm definitely going to cry. So I need to be by myself so I can have this moment to myself. This is the one thing in the year that I get to have. No one's going to bother me. My phone might even be actually off, let alone on Do Not Disturb. You know? Oh, this is so cool. Just like this, for free. For free. This here is free. Obviously, it's the middle of the day, so I don't expect anybody to be here, but you know what I mean? Just free. This is why I say it's truly losing mentality when you're looking at somebody else's life in any way. You just probably weren't prepared to take the risk. You weren't prepared to have the faith. It's the same thing I say about people as Christians. Oh yeah, we worship God and we do this with God. Oh my gosh, that dog running literally looks like this is an advert for, like, I don't know, one of these dog food brands. Because the sun was just shining. Where are you going? This reminds me of the other day. I don't know if you guys saw it. I didn't really show it because of the location of where it was. There was this pony just running around this other horse in circles for just ages. And it was so funny because I was watching to see, like, where are you going? Like, where are you going? And that was just sort of so funny. I wish I could go this way. Could I? Too much of a hassle. But anyway, yeah, you need to be prepared to take the risk. Like, everything requires a risk. And unfortunately, some risks, they don't work out, which brings me to, I found out that there is a platform where there were 62 million married men who were all discussing about strategies of how to drug their wives to force them to have sex. Oh, they're the owners. That makes sense now. What in the freaking frack do you mean? Like, what? And this is the stuff I'm telling you about where I'm like, you guys don't get to sit on your high horse of self-righteousness. I'm so sorry. Oh, you're young ladies today, you're not having kids and you're not settling down and getting married. You know, you don't know how to have relationships. Yeah, your husband's on Grindr. Your husband's on Grindr and your husband's talking to other men in the world about how they're going to drug you so they can force you to have sex. Wow. What an example. Like, we definitely care about what you have to say. We definitely want to take your advice. Your life is... You're definitely looking like somebody we should be looking up to. Like, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, get a grip. Like, get a grip. That's why I'm like, stay away. Like, that's my biggest worry. That's why I'm making this whole video. So, guys, you can't see me. I'm walking behind with the sun behind me again. This is why I'm scared about the Sidemen Sunday thing. Because I'm like, the Sidemen in general. Because I'm like, oh, if the world if the older generations and their organizations get their grubby hands, I'm going to be so annoyed. Because this is just the innocent fun we all have. Like I said, guys, it's so hard sometimes. Like, being a believer. This is why I'm like, I don't get how a lot of believers can really say they're so for the Lord. Because I'm like, why are you so comfortable in the world? Like, being around people in the world makes me uncomfortable. Like, uncomfortable. I feel contaminated. I'm under enough spiritual warfare and I'm dealing with enough demons as it is. Even after all the work I've done. And now, why would I then feel so comfortable just existing in the world. That just doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, at all. You should be uncomfortable. You shouldn't be finding it so easy to just relate to your work colleagues and relate to your other whoever's. There should be attention. I remember one of the most annoying days ever, and I had a similar feeling to how I felt about this whole Disney Plus, because obviously I'm going to have to cancel Crunchyroll now, because did I forget to mention, One Piece now has a meal with Popeyes. So I'm like, okay, if One Piece is going mainstream, I need to get out, because if something's mainstream, that's never a good sign. But what was I saying? I remember around Halloween last year, so when I have new neighbors, who I love, by the way, this really sweet British couple and their little daughter, and they're just a really, really, really wholesome family, right? And me being, me, when they first moved in, I introduced myself, which is funny because there was another set of neighbors that moved in. I also tried to introduce myself, and then the lady just looked me up and down, and this was a black woman, mind you, and I was like, really, we're still doing this in 2000 and whatever it was. But anyway, so they were pretty rude. In fact, they've never even shared a word, whereas I've had plenty of conversations with the new neighbors next door. It's the school run system. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here immediately. What was I thinking? The truth is, I wasn't. Nah, it's fine. I don't really care. So while I was in Poland, they had a house party, and obviously I would be there. Like, that's what goes without a shadow of a doubt. It's next door. Are you dumb? I would be there, but I missed it, which I'm really annoyed about. Like, really. Anyway, on Halloween, they had a Halloween party, and I was like, I can't go, because it's not that I feel forced. It goes against my morals, and I want to go to the party because I like them and I like to go to parties, right? But I can't. It just doesn't sit well within my spirit. Even if I could find a way to justify it, which is what other Christians do, like, I can't. It's like, not that no one's forcing me not to. I could have easily gone. And I remember, like, hearing the music and, like, seeing everything going down, and I was just like, oh, wow. And it's in those kinds of moments, where you actually figure out how serious you are about your morals and values. It's those kinds of moments. Not the ones when everybody's kissing each other's butts on a Sunday morning, but when you're actually faced with the world's dilemmas. Like I said, I'm like, I can't be on Crunchyroll. I'm going to have to get rid of it because Disney's bought it. Now One Piece is all doing a collaboration with Popeyes. Like, these are things I'm fundamentally against. And albeit I'm not judging anybody else, but it's these kinds of things where I wonder, why are some people just so comfortable? Like, why are you not bothered? Why is it not bothering you on the inside somewhere, and you're not like, oh, I want to, but it just doesn't sit right? Like, why are you not having that experience? That's the part that I don't get, And again, a lot of it goes back to what I said about risk and faith. A lot of people, it's the social pressure. It's the social pressure of, I don't want to be seen like this. I don't want to be seen like that. I don't want to ruffle feathers. I don't want to make this community uncomfortable. I don't want to make that community uncomfortable. So again, that's a selfish choice as a believer, because you're basically saying, that's what I'm saying, we can't be blaming God for stuff. Because now you've chosen your comfortability over the potential of whatever it could be. Your success, or even, God to do miracles through you. Because again, all these stories in the Bible, people had to take risks that looked ridiculous, right? Esther, she's not supposed to, no one's supposed to go before the king unless he invites them. She does it anyways. And not only does she do that, she accuses his right-hand man. Big, bold move, right? David, he's just a shepherd, according to everyone, which reminds me of people like, oh, they're just YouTubers. It's like, these guys are entrepreneurs, mate. They've got so many businesses. It's a joke. They've got enough businesses that all their businesses sponsor their own events. Because one of them has a sunglasses company. He's also a DJ. They have clothing lines. They have food. They have everything. They've got ice cream. They're in the corner shop and go and buy their ice cream. It's right next to the Haagen-Dazs and the Ben & Jerry's. I'll go into Iceland and they've got all of their products there. They now have their Sides brand where they make, their own fried chicken you can go and buy. And they're opening store after store. I keep hearing of more stores opening. They were doing so many things. KSI, you might not respect him as a fighter, and he himself, and that's the funny thing. If you actually hear how they speak about themselves, they're very humble. And KSI is like, well, he realized it wasn't for him, but that doesn't change the fact he hasn't created a business, which again, not like these big wig UFC, WWE, whatever crap. Yeah, which I used to watch a bit of UFC, and I never watched the WWE. Well, my brother did growing up, and my goodness. But he's now got his own brand, which again, he sounded like a joke, but now look at him. Now people who are, again, maybe don't have the resources or the connections or whatever in other avenues, he's like, hey, if you are ready to fight, we'll let you fight. We'll set it up. We'll make an event. And now it's his own whole thing. That's why I have respect for them. Not to mention the fact, circling back to the 62 million men, they're all happily married and building families. And they can actually afford to do the stuff they want to do. All of them. It's really funny. But yeah, all these Bible characters, they took risks, what was I saying? I'll say, yeah, David and Goliath, which again, Goliath is another thing I want to talk about. Why are we as Christians questioning the concept of even things like giants and etc. existing, which again, is the world? No. How would David be fighting a giant if the giants didn't exist? I know that sounds like such an obvious statement, but how would David be fighting Goliath if giants didn't still exist? Because the David stories take place in the books of Kings, and the First and Second Samuel, and the flood is in Genesis chapter 8 or 9. So that goes to suggest that for whatever reason, there were still these kinds of beings hanging about. That's another thing. So it's like everyone's, and even Jesus himself. Oh, I'm a follower of Christ. I want to be more like Christ. Everything about everything he did was a risk. Everything. Coming in humbly in a manger. People think, how can the savior of all of humans and all of history have come in such humble beginnings? Because again, it's the bigwigs of the world. A royal child is born, the presidential first granddaughter, and then they have to have a whole, in the nicest private hospital with Egyptian cotton and goat's milk from goats that grew up listening to Vivaldi, and being massaged every day. It's what I'm saying. If the world is actually comfortable with stuff, maybe that's the sign. If the majority is against something you're doing, that actually might be the part of the sign. This is what I'm coming to. That what you're doing is more likely the right thing. I don't want to... But yeah, so Jesus risked all of that. He risked how he came in. He risked saying the truth. Because saying the truth is a risk. Saying the truth is a risk. As I've said, I've lost relationships as a result of saying the truth. And I'll give you an example that really ticked me off, yeah? Or people not saying the truth, because this is another thing I have an issue with. If I realize that you knowingly lied to me, it's over. Done and dusted. I don't care what your reason is. And also, I'm not even going to inform you that that's happening. This happened with one of my friends. I remember we were getting dressed to go, there's another football field right there. Right there. In fact, that's when I was actually singing there once. Well, not like actually singing. Ironically, I was playing football with my brothers, or with one of them, and I was like, "Hey, can I actually like sing a song for you? And can you tell me what? Give me some honest feedback." And he did, and thank goodness, because it was the feedback that I needed. It's like, you sound good, but you can tell that you're whatever, and whatever. And I was like, good to know. Like, just what I'm saying, this is like helpful. Not just telling people what you think they want to hear. Like this time that my friend, she asked me, we were getting dressed to go out to brunch, ironically. And I was like, oh, which of these two outfits do you think I should wear? So one of them I thought I looked way better and I felt more comfortable. The other one I felt like was slightly more appropriate for the occasion. And so this is one of my pet peeves. See me, right? I'm the kind of person, we'll come back to that. I feel like she lied about which one looked better because I looked at the photos and I was like, is this one of them sketchy ones? Because you see me, I'll tell the truth. Like, I had a friend who got glasses and we were at dance together and all the other girls were like, oh my gosh, she was like, should I keep them or should I change them? Because I can still change them for like another 30 days. I was like, I think you should change them. I think you could get glasses that would look nicer on you. Because why wouldn't I tell her that? She's going to go around, people are going to perceive her, they're going to see her. That's what I mean about the standard of love. Like, yes, she might not like that I said I didn't like it. She might think, oh, that's a bit of a palaver. But hey, at least I was honest. And I made sure that she looked her best, you know? And I don't regret it. I don't regret it. She was even like, thank you for being honest. But then again, it made the situation uncomfortable because the other girlies were like, oh no, they look amazing, babe. It looks perfect. So it's like, but it doesn't. It could be better. You look like she still looked good. But I felt like it could be better. Let's go to that field. Just to drive home this point I've been making. Let's just go there. It's right here anyway. The clouds are looking angry. But yeah, so it's all these little things anyways, guys, that bother me, that annoy me, where I'm just like, what actually is this hellscape I'm actually living in all honesty? Like, what is this? And it's just like everything that's good and pure and innocent will always be crushed in this world. And that's essentially the point I'm trying to make here. That everything that's good and pure and honest, this world wants to crush, the devil wants to crush. Like I said, Kai was just there, young guy in his 20s, making silly videos. Next thing, Kevin Hart's coming in. They're inviting him to the freaking whatever, not MTV Awards, what was the one? Met Gala, or I don't freaking know. Right, where they're all over spending tens of thousands on their freaking, on these events. Can I walk part behind that way? That will be sick. Well, I guess we're going to have to try. Yeah, here, look. Another one. Another one. So a lot of other people were at home with these same exact options. People in these houses and all these flats all surrounding here. Yeah. Other people were out with their mobile phones playing football. That's my point. Well, other kids were, I don't know, guys. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so it's getting invited. You got all the celebrities wanting to come on stream. Like, we don't want you here. You look uncomfortable. You're no fun. And then, you know, this thing that adults do where they try to get you to like simmer down in enjoyment. Like, they're the same ones who tell you, enjoy your 20s, enjoy your youth, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then they're also the same ones who kick you while you're actually having enjoyment. And like the older you get, it's like, well, you need to get serious now. For what? May, to quote a girl I used to know, babe, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Literally, what's the point of just getting older just to like live such a mediocre life, like not ever risked anything, never actually put real faith into God that actually was testing. Like, not just, I'm praying to God that I get this promotion in this job that I've been working for 20 years. And they pretty much told me I have it anyway, but I'm going to pray. And then I'm going to be like, thank you, God. It's like, bro, all glory to God, of course. But like, that's not a miracle. Like, I don't mean to be rude. It's not a miracle. Like, you haven't done something big. Like, you're not doing much. Like, I feel like I sound so rude. And the truth of it is, I don't really care. I don't. Because you know why? Life is so much more fun and enjoyable and free. Like, this is what I was saying about Luffy and what I love about the Straw Hat Pirates, how they're just traveling on the seas freely Any enemies they come up, they're willing to destroy. The government, they're willing to go up against them, and they always are, you know. And then they're just having a good time along the way. And that's what I feel like is just getting older, and just like existing. It just goes to show you that it's almost like the older you get, the more you just have to accept like being overly serious, walking in pride, being degenerate. And it's not free. Like having to make all these excuses for yourself, for your behavior, having to like look down upon somebody else or feel like you're only relevant if you're getting all this attention, right? Because this is what I have with a lot of these people. I'm like, why does everybody care so much about getting attention? Like, I don't get that. I don't get why everybody is so desperate for attention. It's like when I see women having a mental breakdown because somebody ruined their wedding. Like, sis, move on. But it was like one day that was about me. Like, oh, give me a break. Like, that's so cringy. Like, why are you so desperate for attention, like, in this world? And I feel like it's the whole social validation aspect where it's like you have to have, everyone's so desperate to have other people acknowledging them and seeing them and this and that. And it's like, yeah, and that's what produces loser behavior because, as I said, so many people who are successful and who have been throughout the years did the things they weren't supposed to do. Like the number of times I'm hearing, oh, and then I dropped out of college, and then I dropped out of college, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I should have dropped out of motherfucking university when I was thinking about it. When I was sitting there in the library, circling that withdraw button, withdraw, and I was to just sit there, like at this time of day, just like circling it, and just like, should I just do it? These are the moments I'm thinking where I should have just taken the risk. I'm already here now, like I'm in London, and at that point I was 19, so I would have added 2 extra years onto all the stuff that I did. Oh my days, you know? It's like it's the risk, and it makes sense if you think about it, because how do you expect to do something extraordinary if you don't do something that's extra from the ordinary? Like, how do you expect to succeed and be above average or, you know, whatever, if you're not willing to put in what average people won't do? These are the questions that run through my head all the time. Like, how do you expect to achieve what most people don't have if you're not prepared to do what most people wouldn't be prepared to do? Like, you got to ask yourself these questions. These are the things I'd be thinking about. And what I respect about the Sidemen, again, going back to them, and I'm going to wrap up the video in a second, is their dedication to not caring about if they're doing what everybody thinks is acceptable. That's what I respect about them. Their dedication to say, like, hey, they absorb it. Like, throughout the years, they get a lot of hate. A lot of their own fans laugh at them. And I'm like, that's so crazy for you to be laughing and teasing them. Like, wow, these guys are pushing 40. Wow, these whatevers. And it's like, who looks like the idiot here? But the fact of the matter is, because that's another thing, for a lot of people who want to have like a position, who want to be, you know, whatever, it takes a lot of guts, because the jury of the sheeple are very ugly when they can be, you know. The jury of the sheeple are very ugly when they can be. So to be able to withstand the judgment, the people not understanding why you're doing what you're doing, that takes a lot of courage. Like, to actually persist with doing something when what you're doing makes absolutely no sense, you know. Even you even hear like these Ironman athletes, because if you guys couldn't tell, I have an obsession with the Ironman, because I just think it's so cool, the concept. And I prefer like sports. I prefer sports activities that require multiple types of skills. So like, not just one where you have to have strong legs, or one where you have to have strong arms, or one where you have to be flexible, or one where you've got to test everything. You've got to like have endurance and strength and flexibility and everything. I love watching and just seeing people compete and stuff like that. And even with that, you see that the Ironmans that people do, and a lot of things that people do, it puts strains on their close and personal relationships, because, you know, and again, people who really love you and care about you and want to see you succeed will be prepared to absorb that and not have an issue. A lot of other people in the world, a lot of the losing community, but I really feel like you're taking this Ironman thing too seriously, and I feel like I'm not getting to see you anymore. And it's like, dude, they're putting themselves through something absolutely insanely impressive. It's only for a specific period of time. Like, where is your mental strength? Like, get a grip. Get a grip. Get a grip. That looks so creepy. There's just a tree with all these strings around it. I gotta go and check that out. Get a grip. Like, get a grip. You know what I mean? We're like, oh, this, it's hard to do this and this because, you're going out and doing this and doing that. It's like, actually, get a freaking grip. Get a grip. And again, it's the risk element, because do you think that, one thing that bothers me, I haven't walked up this road in forever. I think this is, I haven't walked up this road since prom, actually, because the prom after party was around here. What even is this? Okay. Oh, cool. There's a sign here. It says Wild Garden. So somebody's actually built like a wild garden. Oh, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. What was I about to say? Flip's sake. What was I about to say? Oh, one thing that really irritates me. Cases that everything irritates me. Legit. One thing that really irritates me, is how people will be second guessing. Because, like, even say Mr. Beast, his mum kicked him out and all of this. And because of him spending so much time on the YouTube stuff, whatever. And people, at the first half of it, it'll be the people closest to you who'll be the biggest problem. But they'll be the ones, the biggest smiles, right? When those checks start coming in. When you start coming and buying people houses and cars, they get to start going on flashy holidays. And I can't lie, I have like secondhand resentment for these people. Because I'm like, that's so ugly. Like, that's so ugly. Like, you made yourself an obstacle of this whole entire situation. Yeah? You were part of the reason that made it harder to achieve this. And now you want to be all buddy-buddy, pally-pally, because someone succeeded. I don't think I could, like, I've said to the Lord, like, listen, there's a lot of people who I'm going to get rich, yeah? And there's just going to be some people that are going to have a direct debit. We're not doing no photo ops. I'm not going to have no little fake hugs like anybody was actually there for me. I will absolutely pay for as many things as I possibly can so that people can live comfortable lives, as many as people as I can. But I'm not doing the photo ops. I'm not going to sit there and especially don't try and hug me or touch me, like, or anything in the idea that, like, you were actually anything other than an obstacle along the way of this journey. You know what I mean? I find that to be so cringy. Oh, that's where that is. I remember I shook you guys there once on a walk, but I actually need to go. So I will not be walking down there. But yeah, like, it's cringy. I find it hella cringy. Like, anyways, you guys get the idea. I've been going on for so long. I think I'm splitting this into 2 videos. Mainly because the first one I accidentally stopped recording. But this is just the stuff I'll be thinking about. This is why I'm just there with my head literally hurting, asking the Lord, like, why I had to be here. Like, why did I have to be in this society? It's just not worth it. Like, it's just not worth it. The jury of the sheep ruins everything. And this is why I really feel like the only solution for me in the long run is to only ever be around winners. That's the only solution. There's only people I can be around. Winners and people with a winning mindset. And I mean winning not in the ungodly way. Not in the world's version of winning. Because the rest of everybody, I literally cannot stand for the life of me. I cannot stand. Where am I? No, I know where I am. In all fairness, I actually do know where I am. But yeah, anyways, guys, I took a very long walk there. Okay, it wasn't that long. And you see, this is one of those where I'd love to track my steps, but then selling data. Just like how, like, I'd love to track my period, but again, it's like selling data. You know, free data. Download this app for free and check it. Because it's just somebody else stealing our data. Oh, now I know where I am because of that freaking ugly tree that I can't stand. Such a nice little road. See how nice and peaceful it is when there's nobody around. And yes, look, more building going on, but at least this is just like some people's house. Listen. Just the birds. And the low air quality, because they're ruining it by cutting the trees down. So the air is not as fresh as I would like for it to be. Anyways, I'm actually going to sign off now, because I'm actually going to record again anyway. I need to get back into this Job department, because we're in the trenches, y'all. We in the trenches. But like, this is just the stuff where these are the things I have in my head and on my heart. And like, when I'm like around people, I just like, it's like if I actually start saying what's going on in my head, people are going to get really offended. And I also especially don't care. That's the other thing about it. I don't care. And I really don't care. Because, like I said, one of the worst things I feel like about being alive at this time is the lack of respectable people to actually want to learn from. Because and again, going back to even One Piece and stuff, they would always have like, you know, Luffy's trying to compete to beat Goldie Roger, the first pirate to make it to find the One Piece, and he actually intentionally left the One Piece for the next generation. And it's funny how in the show you have the split of the older generations, the one who are actually the gangsters who, like, when the younger people try to fight them, they can't even come close. So they're still humble, but they don't have to be, because they actually live up to their position. And then you have the other ones who are looking down, and it's really sad, like, especially looking around for like I said, I've just spent too much time around kids, and I've had too many things from adults, where to the point where it's like, it's actually sad to be lacking in respectable leadership. And the same is true for the body of Christ. I may actually just go and talk about this somewhere. Yeah, maybe we will do. All right, you guys, the last game was play to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. I'll see you, man.